what she says in the plain old vernacular is that you beat the shit out of her.
Welcome to Bench Report Court Cam.
All right, we're back. Mr. Griffiths, let's return to your case. It's file number 242306FY, People versus Scott Raymond Griffiths. Prosecuting Attorney-elect Deborah Davis is here. I want to call her that for one last day. And Mr. Larry Wescombe is here for the Public Defender's Office. You've been charged with domestic violence aggravated as a second offense, making that a felony punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment. Count 2 is domestic violence, second offense, which is a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. He also charges a fourth habitual offender, making that 5-year felony offense, I believe, life offense maximum. It's alleged that this took place on December 29th out in Leonidas Township. Ms. Davis emailed me and she wanted to be heard regarding your bond. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Are you still living in Vicksburg?
Yes.
Who do you live with?
My oldest daughter still lives with me right now. My youngest daughter, Brooklyn, that I have a kid with Miss Merkel. Her oldest daughter that just had a baby, and her baby daddy, and Karen.
Oh, Karen lives there also? All right.
Yeah.
Are you employed?
Yes.
Where's that?
Lakeshore Construction.
Who's that?
It's a construction company out of Lawton.
Okay. I was looking at your stuff, getting prepared for this, and I've known you for a long time. You have 84 separate entries in our system since you turned about 17. Ms. Davis wanted to give specific input on this. Ms. Davis, what would you like me to know?
Your Honor, in reviewing this case, the concern is that this is a continual issue with domestic violence and this individual. He most recently had a domestic charge, 2 domestic charges in Indiana. He pled to one for a dismissal in the other.
Where was that?
That LaPorte County. There was also a residential entry, intimidation, and battery in Elkhart County that I'm waiting to hear back from Elkhart to see if the assault and battery that he pled to was actually a domestic, but I haven't been able to get the details on that yet. He also, with the same victim in 2019, was charged with assault with a dangerous weapon. He ended up pleading down to disturbing the peace. He's had multiple instances of driving issues, reckless driving. Dangerous driving was a part of the issue here. This is alleged to have happened in his motor vehicle while they were traveling down the roadway on Michigan Avenue up in Leonidas Township. He's had prior meth charges, resisting and obstructing police officers. He's got both the Indiana record and the Michigan record. With what has occurred here, the victim reported that she is very scared. She was afraid that he was going to come find her. She was hesitant to even go to the hospital because of her fear of him coming to find her. So I would ask that the bond be set as a cash bond with provisions that he have no contact with the victim or her place of residence, that he be placed on a GPS monitoring so that we can keep track of where he is to ensure the safety of the victim, and that there be no drugs or alcohol. It was alleged that there was alcohol as an issue here in this one, and he has a prior drug history. So with that, I would ask the it not be a 10% bond either. I'd ask it to be set as a cash bond and an amount that the court deems appropriate. Thank you.
I can take a drug test. That had nothing to do with
All right, well,
drugs.
just a minute. The bond information report indicates that she went to the hospital, to the emergency. Do you have the medical information on this yet?
I don't have the medical records. I just have from her that she was treated at the hospital and was told to follow up with her primary care physician.
It was all about custody of our daughter.
Hey, sir, sir, stop.
Well, what she says in the plain old vernacular is that you beat the shit out of her and she got out of the car.
If that was the case, she'd be all beat up.
Stop. I don't want you to say anything that might implicate you in any of this. So I'm not unwilling to hear what you have to say. But at this point, it's probably best you don't say anything. There's a lot of baggage on here. There's a couple of DVs that were charged and either dismissed or reduced to something else. There is a domestic violence from 2019, which is the precursor for this case.
Yeah, it's I have evidence.
Now
showing that
are you on
this.
probation or parole
No,
in Indiana or here?
no,
Do you have any charges pending in Indiana?
no. I'm not a violent man. It's
All right, well, don't say any more. Your record speaks differently. You got R&Os, disturbing the peace, several prior DVs, not to mention all the other stuff. But Mr. Westcomb, you have any input on this?
Yes, Your Honor.
While these are serious accusations, Mr. Griffiths has acknowledged to me that he will abide by any terms of bond that the court sets, including alcohol and drug testing. And he has a place to go, so there will be no contact with the alleged victim in this instance. The threat to the public, as far as that can be reasonably alleviated with a GPS tether, as the prosecutor has suggested. And he has indicated to me that that is something that he would submit to. He's gainfully employed. He has been for some time. With all these factors taken into account, we would ask the court to consider, if it sets a high cash bond amount, to consider a 10% so that he can assist in his defense. Thank you.
Mr. Griffiths, tell me more about this Lakeshore construction.
he's respectful.
Well, do you have a project that you're working on right now?
Yes, I was supposed to be finishing a job over by Saginaw on a roof. We always have projects. We're busy all the time. I mean, I'm running.
All right. Do you have a valid driver's license?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
Oh, good. All right. Well, there are public safety concerns. Let me look at this praxis report that I didn't get. The defendant has at least one prior conviction as an adult. The defendant has 2 or more prior violent convictions. The defendant has a history of drug abuse and does not include alcohol. They recommend pretrial supervision.
Whatever I gotta do to get out, I just gotta be out working. It's not gonna be
Now,
either.
everybody wants to get out. I certainly would agree with that. There's a public safety component to this. Your girlfriend contends that you beat her. She got dumped out of the car or jumped out of the car, hid to avoid you finding her. An ambulance came. They took her to the hospital. the police didn't mess around. They went right to your house and arrested you in Vicksburg and took you to jail. So there is a public safety issue of it. All right, well, let's talk about the test as directed 2 times. No drugs, no alcohol. No drugs, no alcohol. No contact with Karen Merkel. No weapons, no assaultive behavior, pretrial supervision, including GPS tether. Bond is $10,000 cash or surety. This is a second offense, aggravated domestic assault, as a 4th habitual offender. I take this quite seriously. So you got the conditions. If you do post the bond, you'll have to contact the Community Corrections Department. I'm going to appoint an attorney.
How much is this?
$10,000 cash or surety.
So if I go through bonds, maybe 1,000?
Yes. PEC for 12/14/24 at 8:30.
114, run, 25.
114, thank you. 25 to 114/25. Let me get that right. And a prelim if needed for 121/25 at 1 o'clock. Mr. Griffiths, I don't even know what to say about this. At this time, you're presumed to be not guilty. You have a presumption of innocence that follows you throughout this. But I am concerned about this and about you. So I'm not going to do a 10% bond. I'm not going to set it at an outrageous amount, but I have a serious concern about her safety. All right, you're good to go.
If you give me the opportunity, I'll show you.
Hi, we finished with Mr. Griffiths, but Debbie would like to know if you'd bring Mr. Hasselkuss back in. All right, thank you.
On the first time, it's your pizza.
If I ask on her behalf, they always agree.
Go to the jail, or does that work other places too?
You never know. Sometimes it backfires, so gotta use it very carefully.
I don't know much about this one either, so let me take a minute here.
Skipping the line at restaurants?
Curly's maybe.
Thanks for watching. Stick around longer and click the highlighted videos to your right. See you there.